So today we wanted to cover a topic that I think will interest you all a lot. I know that these last couple years, I have been a witness of a lot of the people that I know personally, either from work or friendships or acquaintances, that have been moving out of big cities and also states such as California. Even Arizona is actually having an exodus of people to different states that I feel like are more favorable for these people. They tend to have an idea of where they want to go, and they develop a game plan and they execute on it. Just like JB here has recently executed his exit out of California. So within a couple weeks, he will call Alabama his permanent home. Yeah. So I would like for you guys to listen to a little bit of a background of how JB came to this decision, and also hear a little bit of story about Aaron and how he transitioned his life into where it is at today.
So I was raised in the suburbs, just east of south of Austin, and out where it was pretty country, but I grew up, in a neighborhood out in the country. And as kids, we would run around, and technically, I guess we were trespassing on people's land, but we were out there camping, fishing, building fires, and all that. And I'd always wish I had been raised that way. So I've always wanted to be on a farm, ranch, whatever, since I was a little kid. I was able to pick up my place. I guess I was late 20s. The market had just crashed in 08, 09. I ended up picking up the property pretty much for peanuts at the time in 2010, and was able to pick up that place for a good price. But so my initial reason to get out of the city and all that was just for my love of the outdoors and all that. But as I got older, started learning everything that had to do that's going on with this country socially, economically, all that, I'm glad that I have it. So my reasons for having it now have slightly changed, but obviously I still do like the country living and all that. And another thing, I wanted my kids to be raised that way. I wasn't able to be raised that way, and I wanted to provide that for them. So my kids now are not running the streets. They know how to shoot firearms, they know how to fish, they know how to build fires, these basic survival skills that I've been able to teach them. They're not scared to go out in the woods and run around. They're not scared of bugs, snakes. I mean, they're country kids, and I'm glad that they're being raised that way and not being raised by the streets. But yeah. And then I guess that's when Jeremiah and I became good friends, and we can transition to how my journey and all that paved the way for his.
Well, me personally, growing up, I was probably shooting at about 10 years old, loved shooting, really loved fishing and doing all that stuff when I was a kid. But like Aaron, I lived in the suburbs outside of Chicago, but I always loved to go out to the farms and fish and shoot, just loved it. And never really had the opportunity to live in a rural area. And when I met Aaron, just going out on his pond with a baitcaster in the evening and fishing, just the animals around, just having some acreage. It's a reason, big reason why I'm here today, buying this house, this property, this acreage, and then obtaining more acreage on top of this acreage to have about 30 acres here eventually. So Aaron was a big influence on that, and spending, a week out of the year with him for probably this last 7-8 years, and just enjoying the animals, the fresh air, the privacy, the fishing, being able to, have your own range to shoot. I was just in love with it. It was literally therapeutic. It's nice living on a golf course. It was nice living in the desert to a point. But now with society really breaking apart, you just start looking at a bigger picture. You start looking at the future, where all this is going and where you want to be. Where do you want to be when, not if, but when things break apart. And honestly, I'd much rather be here. And I have to go back, tomorrow. We'll be back on the road. Aaron's going to fly out in the next, probably 3-4 weeks, and then we're going to be right back here because we're going to be driving a truck out here, with some of my more valuable items, firearms and whatnot, while the pods delivers my other essentials. But I wouldn't leave right now. It's just so relaxing here. I'm not looking forward to going back, but it has to be done. It's part of the move. But I have absolutely, we've spent 4 days here now. I have absolutely no regrets on this move whatsoever. The house is beautiful. Next year, it will have a complete transformation. By next year, it won't even look the same. I mean, obviously it will look the same, but interior-wise, with the paint and the furniture, we have no furniture in here. Everything's going to be repainted. It's going to be, a lot of upgrades that go on here, but no regrets. The area is phenomenal. The state has been great. The people have been great. And I really don't look forward to going back to California. So I will not be able to wait to get back here to Alabama. It'll be great. One thing I will say is when Aaron comes out to California, hopefully he has a couple days, because I would love for us all to go to Los Angeles. Aaron hasn't been to Los Angeles in decades, and I think he would have a seizure if he saw what is going on in Los Angeles right now. So I'd love to take him Skid Row, love to show him what's going down in LA, because I don't think he will even be able to fathom the disaster, the apocalyptic nightmare that is taking place in Los Angeles. So I feel like I'm in another world here, and Aaron was a big influence on that. And I give all praise to God for leading me here, finding me this house, and allowing my family to come out here. And I think we're gonna have some really good times here, and I think we're gonna have a much better chance of getting through some very, very difficult times that are coming to America. And I hope that it's avoided. If it is, wonderful. I'll be fishing. I'll be eating fried chicken and watermelon, working out. There's some good gyms out here for jiu-jitsu and boxing. So life will go on, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And as Aaron said, what was the old saying, Aaron? If I'm
But
right,
I can afford to be wrong. Can you afford for me to be right?
that's the question. So give it back to you.
Yeah, so, and what are the main reasons as to why people are deciding to do this? Usually the main factor here too also, unfortunately, ever since several years ago, there's been a big political divide. And so that's causing a lot of people to finally let go of the state that they're in, because maybe when they first were in that state many, many years ago, they're just not in that same alignment with the politics in today's environment. So they're deciding to live to a different state. Where
they're voting. They're voting
exactly
by moving.
Yeah, exactly. So by them moving, they are actually taking that with them, their votes. And so not only that, but the cost of living is cheaper in these other states. And so they're able to actually sell that property that has appreciated and purchase another property a lot bigger, a lot more private, a lot more secluded, and also they are able to continue to have more cash in the bank for emergencies, or they could even use that money to be able to invest it in other assets, possibly gold, possibly silver, or any other type of hard assets. So these people, they actually have made that move, and again, they are not having regrets, because after several years of them doing this, they are still in the same position where they are glad they did it. And most people will not be back. They will not be back.
The only downside to that are the people that live in these states, where this California money comes in, and then the people in these states can't afford to buy a house in their own state, because Californians come in because they're able to sell their stucco box for $1 million and move to a state like this, or Florida, or Texas, or where. But prices even here, Texas, Florida, have exploded. So it is not as cheap as it was 5 years ago, that is for sure. I mean, I was really shocked, even out here in Alabama, what prices have done since 2020, 2019. And we've met a lot of people who said there's a lot of Californians here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can give a little bit of a background of what you've seen in Texas, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, there's so much technology and major companies that are coming to Austin. You have Tesla, you've got Samsung, you've got some major plants, that are coming out there. So those are high-paying jobs, and that's going to get people from California and stuff to move out there. I know a lot of celebrities that are moving out there, but so yes, a lot of people have moved out to definitely the Austin area has exploded, and yeah, it has definitely driven the prices up. I think they've pulled back probably 20-30% at this point from the all-time highs, but I mean it's still not cheap to buy in Austin, and even the surrounding areas that, you know, as you move out, it's still a lot more. I know in my area, I want to say an acre's probably 20 grand now. You know, back when I bought my place, I probably paid maybe 4,000 or 5,000 an acre. So I mean, it's definitely gone up.
The main factors that I have personally seen too, a lot of people moving from these large cities, from my own experience seeing clients, it's like LA area, it's mostly homelessness. People are tired of having the homelessness right next to their door. So sometimes you have these $1 million properties that are right next to a bunch of dilapidated RVs or tents. And so people are just tired of that. And even then, they're still able to get top dollar for their property. And again, they can, even if you do move into an area that's in the same state, a lot of the times you can still find a good property and pay it off in full and still have enough money to be able to comfortably retire in the future, because these properties, they've gone up so much. I've even seen people sell property in the Bay Area for ridiculous amounts, where maybe in the 70s they bought it for under 100,000 and now they're selling it for close to 2 million or more. Those are probably some of the major reasons as to why people are moving. And again, as we talked in the other video, technology has made it very easy for people to be able to move into these rural areas and to be able to continue working from home, have all the amenities, and as time goes on, there starts to be more businesses flowing around that area as well, to make it easier for communities to thrive and for people to be able to make a nice community that's actually viable. These are things that I think that a lot of you out there have probably already done. I would like for some of you to comment down below, maybe give a little bit of your experience if you have actually done this. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you out there that have done this. I have seen it in the comments. Many of you have actually said yourself that you live in a property with a well, or you are self-sufficient, which I think that still you're in the minority. I think that there's still a lot of people out there that have not been educated as to what is out there, because I know a lot of people around me, sometimes they think that just because you're in California, a lot of people, I feel like they think that that's the center of the universe. But once you start traveling outside of that area and you start coming to these states, a lot of people are not aware of what type of property you can acquire at a state like Alabama, even some parts of Texas and Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana,
Arkansas.
Exactly. There's still affordability, and actually right now, certain parts of Florida are actually becoming somewhat easier to be able to obtain, even though probably we're not in that situation yet where people should go running to buy property in Florida, but some people are finding great deals.
Insurance cost is bonkers.
That's the thing though.
Now they're fleeing Florida, and
so
they'll be coming here.
And that's the thing, that even in Florida with the insurance, you still have a hard time to be able to move out there. But if you look at California and you compare it, sometimes there can still be savings, but it all depends. Maybe it's not your time right now, but eventually, if you are in the market to be able to get out of the situation that you're in, patience is key.
A state where, what is it, Altadena now after the fire, 1% of the homes that burnt down, there's 1% of those homes have a permit to rebuild, 1%. So over 9,000 homes burned down in Altadena and 1% are approved to rebuild. Who would move to a state that was that unprepared to deal with a fire, then on top of it, even more unprepared after the fire, these poor people who've lost everything, still living in hotels, we were down there, the people in Malibu, Pacific Palisades, all that. I mean, it's just it's just horrific what has happened to these people, and nothing's going on. Very few homes are being rebuilt. Many people can't afford to rebuild, and the entire landscape of these areas, now also trying to get multifamily into some of these areas too. Why? Who would want to live in California when you got that snake, Gavin Newsom, running it into the ground? You lose your house, maybe the state will buy your lot, but nobody's going to help you to rebuild. And it almost seems like it was done on purpose to drive a bunch of people out and maybe steal their property, their land, and rebuild some type of smart city that we're hearing a lot of. But something happens in California, you are pretty much on your own, and it's going to cost you a lot of money if something happens. I would really stay away from California. I'd rather deal with insurance problems in Florida than the politics of California, because if something happens, it'll be a major earthquake, it's going to be another fire, and then insurance costs are going to go even more bonkers, more bananas than they are now. So it is a real risk if you're moving to California. And then on top of that, you pray to God that you don't have a home invasion, because you now have so many organized gangs in California coming to these beautiful homes in Los Angeles County and Orange County. It is a complete disaster. California is done, and unfortunately one of the most beautiful states has literally burnt to the ground. They said that it would fall into the ocean at some point. Well, it literally has basically fallen into the ocean with what we're seeing now. It is a once beautiful state now that I just don't know if it can ever come back. So if you're ever thinking about moving to California, even vacationing in California, be very careful.
If you're concerned about what the future brings and the direction of society, the country, and all that, I think you're running out of time. And when you move out to the country, like everything that I've learned, I didn't learn overnight. I've learned over the last 15 years or so, and so there's a learning curve to it. Learning how to grow food, cattle, goats, chickens. Goats and chickens are pretty easy, but if you do get a place you want to go out and you're on a budget, on a couple acres, you can raise probably a dozen goats, dozen chickens, and you can have a big garden. So you'd be surprised how much food you can grow on even 2 acres, couple acres, even an acre. The guy that I buy my goats from, I think he maybe has an acre, and I want to say he has 30 goats on that. So goats and chickens are not as, they don't demand as much property. So, but yeah, you need to learn these skills. So if you have the means, quit letting grass grow under your feet and find you a place and get there. That way that and the other thing is, if you're moving, everyone that you know is you're leaving behind and you're coming to a new area. You don't know anyone. It takes time to vet people, to figure out, who's good to have in your circle and who's not around the new area you move to. So it takes time. So it's not something, the poo hits the fan, all right, let's go get a place. It's too late.
It's too late.
So, if you're going to do it, you need to do it now.
We spoke with Bill Holter tonight on the phone, and we've been, you see Bill quite often. I've been to his house a couple times, and Bill's got a nice spread. He's got acreage. He's very, very well prepared. And, that was also an influence. When I see somebody like Bill Holter, a guy that's, I would say is a wealthy guy, a very awake guy, yelling at me practically last year that I'm running out of time, you better get out of California. He was very happy, tonight, congratulating me on the move. And, when I look at people that are, have a lot more money than myself, who are a lot smarter than myself, and they're doing these type of things, it makes you think, like, should I be doing this too? And I think absolutely. When you look at what's happening with people, you can look at Mark Zuckerberg, you can look at Bezos, Musk. All these people have places to go to. They have security details protecting them. They've got, islands, bunkers, all this stuff. What do they know that most people don't, or most people don't want to admit because they're too terrified? These people are all preparing, and maybe we all can't buy a farm or a ranch or an island, but there's always something we can be doing to at least add some type of benefit or put the odds in our favor a little bit. Doing nothing is a terrible, terrible strategy. It is a strategy that will end in tragedy.
I do get a lot of people on the comments that have asked me personally, when am I going to move? I have been looking at property in these areas. Had a friend that moved to Tennessee. I went to visit him this past month, and that opened my eyes. After several years, I've been going back to Tennessee, and several trips that I've done over there, I've looked at property. Unfortunately, I was not in the right mindset. I wish I would have actually purchased land back before 2020 because everything just totally skyrocketed. Now that I've seen what JB has purchased, what I've seen, the type of land that Aaron has and my friend in Tennessee as well, I will continue to be looking at different property in different states in this area, and eventually I myself as well plan to be able to purchase a piece of property out here. And right now I do have a practice that I do tax returns for people and represent a lot of people in front of the IRS. But eventually a lot of this work is actually becoming more and more remote over the years. So there will be a point. My destiny is also out of California. Even though I know that it's very difficult to be able to make those transitions, I do know deep within me that California is a state that I don't want to be in for very long because I know where it's headed. But again, sometimes when you have a business tied like the one I do, it is kind of difficult to be able to step away. But my goal is to eventually also get out of California.
And you have the benefit that if something were to happen tomorrow or next week, you have friends that you can get to if you had a bug out.
Yeah.
So that's one good benefit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that. So maybe you're not moving, tomorrow, but if you had to get out, you have friends that you could get to, which is extremely important. Most people don't have that.
Yeah.
And I would really like to know in the comments, how many people out there watching this video right now are thinking about leaving the state you're in? You're sitting down at the dinner table with your family tonight or tomorrow, and you're talking about, what do you guys, think about maybe making a move somewhere? But I think it's getting more difficult. When you say now with the labor market, the job market now is really beginning to crack, and it's going to be much more difficult for people to just move because you got to have a job. You don't have a job, you don't move. You don't buy a house. I think it's going to get much more difficult now for people to escape a lot of these areas because the labor market now is beginning to show signs of stress.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to be able to get up and running and to be able to develop money coming in every single month to be able to pay your expenses, especially because of the rising inflation costs. That's also what's driving people out of these states, especially, like I said, like a state like California has a lot of red tape. So it's very difficult for you to do things sometimes. And not only that, but everything's just becoming outrageously expensive. And the taxes that you are paying every single year, that's also a main driver as to why people are leaving to other states that don't have a state income tax. If you are making a good amount of money, you could really be saving a ton.
With the real estate market in the condition that it's in, if someone wants to sell their place and move out, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Yep.
So, I mean, I hate to say you've missed the boat, but
I mean, you could say, the average house in California is nearly $1 million. Who's going to buy it?
right.
That's the question now.
So
Who's going to buy it?
So even if people do want to move and get out, they have to sell their place.
And the question is, where are the buyers going to come from now? BlackRock can't buy every house, that's for sure. A lot of buyers now who can buy see the writing on the wall, and they're going to sit back now because this is now evolving into a buyer's market. It's not a full-blown crash right now, but buyers are beginning to smell a little blood in the water, and they're going to sit back. Next thing is you have a limited amount of qualified buyers in this market, and you have a lot more sellers. I think right now there are literally about 500,000 more homes on the market than there are buyers, and that number is climbing. We're seeing these layoffs, 5,000 here, 10,000 there, 2,000 there, 20,000 there, every day. I don't know how they can say unemployment's only 4.2%, but they're messing with the formula, and I think that it's going to get a lot worse here. So if you can make the move and get to a safer area. Bill Holter was yelling at me for 2 years to do this. So Bill's a pretty smart guy. He's been right about quite a bit. So I hope he's wrong. I hope we're all wrong, to be honest with you. As I've said many times, I hope gold prices come down under 2,000. The war's all in. Inflation goes down. The debt goes down. But you're all realists like I am. Not going to happen.
So we just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a perspective as to Aaron and JB's reasoning why as to why they decided to be where they're at. And like I said before, drop it down in the comments. I would really like to know some of your stories as well. And as you all know, I try to respond to as many comments as I can. I know that sometimes we're busy, and hopefully these next couple days, we're going to continue to be able to provide you guys good content. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, view the videos that I have provided. Also, Aaron has provided some pretty good content. JB as well, he's been providing some pretty good videos behind the scenes. I think all of our videos complement well. So if you haven't had a chance, please go ahead and take a look. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Man, it is the middle of the day. It's actually getting pretty humid right now. So today's Wednesday. There's a very good chance that in the near future today, we might end up getting some rain. Luckily, these past couple days have been pretty decent. But again, we're in an area where you just never know. I'm not used to it, but JB's gonna get used to it. He loves it. We got the friends on the skid steer there. So this is actually something that can be done. If you have a skid steer, you can use it to your advantage to be able to move things up like this. You can move people, you can move objects. It's very, very good to be able to have a tool like this, especially if you have a ranch. Or if you rent it, I mean, you're gonna be spending some big bucks, but it's very beneficial to have one of these.
What a lot of people don't know is when I was in my 20s, I operated a low side for 7 years. So I've been around this stuff for many, many years. Wasn't a heavy equipment operator, but I operated a 34-foot low side, so I've been around heavy equipment for many, many years. So nothing new, enough to jump in there and drive it and get Aaron up to cut these branches. So, peace.
Yeah. So today is Thursday the 21st. It's a little bit after 10 a.m. today in the morning. And we actually have the power washing company here. So Jorge, he's actually taking care of that right now. They're gonna take about 2 days to go ahead and completely power wash the entire property. And we are actually taking care of some other things. So today seems like it's gonna be a pretty busy day. And we're gonna continue and see what goes on here at the property, see how far we can get things accomplished.
So one thing growing up in the Midwest, how fast the weather can change. You don't see this in California too often. If you look out here, we've got a pretty good storm coming in, a lot of lightning coming down, and you're starting to see a pretty big current on the pond here. So pretty interesting how quick, and it's dropped about 10 degrees. So it feels nice right now. Got a nice breeze. We're probably down in the low 80s now. Feels pretty nice.
Yeah.
But look at these clouds coming in. We're probably going to get hit here pretty soon.
Today's been a pretty productive day.
We got a lot done today.
Yeah.
I mean, this week for 4 days, what we got done, we got the barn roof cleaned off. We got come back, pressure wash the rest of the house tomorrow. Get all the cobwebs and hornet's nest out of here. We got all the minor repairs done by the second day. We got the road probably as good as we're going to get it for now. We got rain yesterday, and it's held up. If you look over here from the rain yesterday, see how it holds up. A lot of people said it wouldn't hold up, but we got rain yesterday, and that looks good.
Yeah.
So we'll get this all cleaned up here next week too. I got one of my guys coming down Gonna clean up gates closing.
Yeah.
We're gonna upgrade the gate though. This opener is okay, but we're gonna do a Viking on here, so it's gonna be just
Yeah.
a better electric gate
There
than the
you
one
go.
that's on here. So when I get back, we'll have that installed, but it'll suffice for right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the road from the first rain yesterday looks good. We're gonna get another dose here in a little bit, it looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's gonna hold up well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, by the way, this is where the gun range will be. If you want to check it out,
Yeah.
um, over here. Probably, going to be about 50 yards. That's, we can make it longer if we set it up differently. But right now, there's a pretty decent berm back there. That puts us right at about 50 yards. We got about 200 acres of trees behind us, and then a farm. And then we got a peanut farm over here. So this will be pretty good. We may build it up a little bit more, but I don't think we have to build up too much. There's really nothing behind there, and you already have a pretty decent berm. So if we're shooting into it, we should be okay. But that should suffice. Now, so that's a little bit of the property right now. If
Yeah.
you want to take a look out here, pond.
Yeah.
Caught a really nice bass yesterday. Yeah, this thing's got some real serious trophy bass in it.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely fish it when I get back when we have time. But I mean, 4 days just was not a whole lot of time, but we got so much done.
Oh yeah.
Aaron repaired the pipe that he broke. Everything pretty much functioned really well in the house.
Mm-hmm.
The water, air conditioning runs on geothermal, by the way, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All the electrical seemed to work nice. The laundry worked nice. Everything seemed to work pretty nice. We do have, the tractor here, so we can, we can roll down this road once a week, once every 2 weeks, and kind of maintain it with the tractor. Yeah, so far, I mean, it was very comfortable, right, Enrique? Was
Yeah.
it, I mean, I slept
Oh yeah.
comfortably.
Yeah.
Perfect. We kept the house at about 77, 78 at night. We got, the fan in the living room there. I will be back here probably in 30 days or less. Probably paint the gate too. Turbo will be back here. Nugget will be back. Mimi will probably be here in a couple months. Kona, Jimmy. Yeah, so you can definitely see the storm coming in. So yeah, really, really cool. But it held up good from yesterday's rain. We're gonna get another dose here. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But man, things are green, lush, and growing, and the food has been phenomenal out here, hasn't it? So we're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
What are we going tonight? The
Uh-huh.
blue plate, I think it is.
Yeah. The blue plate.
So our buddy's dad, I guess, sells them all their flathead catfish. So we're gonna check it out. I haven't had flathead catfish. I've only had channel catfish. So we're gonna try flathead tonight. I think it's called the blue plate. Comment down below if you've been there. We're gonna check it out. Should be good. We went to what was it?
Mom's Kitchen.
Today again. Phenomenal service. Jim and Nick's last night. Phenomenal. Everywhere we go is just pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
What was the breakfast place we went to yesterday?
Toasted yolk.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'll take Mom's Kitchen. But toasted yolk was good. Yeah, everything we've eaten at has been very, very good.